Hey there, welcome back. I want to talk to you today or continue our discussion today about redefining success as a career mom. Now, I told you last week as we talked a little bit about what redefining success means and why it's important that I was going to continue the discussion over the next 2 weeks. And I am going to do that. However, I want to share a story about my day yesterday because it fits perfectly in the discussion. So for those of y'all who don't know me, I am Lee Howell. I am a family physician. I'm a mom of 3 crazy teenage boys, and I am your anti-do-it-all life coach. So last week, like I said, we talked about the importance of redefining success as a career mom. Redefining success not by the way our culture wants us to define it. So by the amount of money in our bank accounts or the credentials behind our name or the amount of followers you have on social media. But instead, redefining success according to our own personal core values and our own purpose, and just how much more joyful and present you'll feel in your career, as a mom, in your other relationships. And let me tell you, this showed up in full force in my day yesterday. I had promised my mom that I would take her down to Charlotte to this surgery appointment. This was already after I had planned on co-hosting a 5-day challenge with some other friends, coaches, this week. But I looked at it and I was like, we'll go live in the 5-day challenge from 12 to 12:30. Our appointments in Charlotte's 8:30. I knew I wouldn't be able to make it back home to do the challenge. So I had already talked to my best friend, roommate from college who lives down there to see if I could do it from her house. So I thought I had it all together. And then I was about maybe 30 minutes out of Winston-Salem on my way to Charlotte, and when I realized I left my work bag at home with the computer. So when I got to Charlotte, I'm texting her, hey, do you have a laptop I can borrow? And she does. So I was like, okay, well, this is not a crisis. It'll be fine. Get to the appointment. All's going well. We waited and waited and waited. And about 11 o'clock, our appointment was at 8:45. And about 11 o'clock, I was getting really nervous. So I'm texting, my friends / coaches that I'm co-hosting with for the 5-day challenge. And, I'm in kind of panic mode because I had no idea if I could get on live at 12. And of course, they're wonderful. They're like, we've got this. There's no reason to worry about this. Well, by the time we finished at the doctor's office and I got to my friend's house who lovingly left me her computer, I was able to get online at 12:20. So there was 10 minutes left in the session. And even though I knew that they were telling me, don't worry about it, it's fine, it wasn't fine to me. Like I was already in that self-criticizing comparison mode. I'm not a good colleague. I'm not good at my business. And I was trying to kind of tuck that back and drove back home. Got my parents on the road back to their house, sat down, was playing games with my kids in the den. And something in the back of my head said, you're missing something. So I pull out my phone and look at my calendar, and sure enough, I had completely spaced on appointments for the twins at 4:15. And here this was 4:30. Y'all, this was, at this point, I was in full tailspin. You know, that critter brain was going in full force. You know, you're not a good mom. You're not a good colleague. You're not good at your business. You know, at this point, I hadn't even picked up groceries. There's not food in the house. It was full tailspin mode. However, because I've worked on redefining success for me, I was able to pause for like a split second. And that's all I needed to break that historical thought pattern of overwhelm, of limiting beliefs, of self-sabotage, and be able to say, you know what? No, I am none of those things. Like, I succeeded today because what I chose to do was in complete alignment with my own values, which, if you know, my overarching core values are love and connection and my faith in God. And I'm like, you know what? I did that today. I showed up with love and connection for my mom. I showed up in love and connection with my kids, even though I completely spaced on their doctor's appointment. As I was forgetting it, I was sitting in the middle of the floor spending time with them. So, crisis averted doesn't always work, but to that point, this is something that I have to practice on a daily basis. This idea that I get to choose what success means for me. And friend, I'm telling you, you get to choose the same thing. Like, I am sure you can take my story from yesterday like a Mad Lib, and you just fill in your own details and you have your own tailspin story. But I'm telling you, and I'm inviting you to just even remember one of those tailspin stories and take a moment to think, what could I do differently? Because we know this is going to happen again. It's going to happen to me. It's going to happen to you. It may happen today. What can we do when we can see ourselves going into that comparison mode, that negative self-talk mode? What can we do to pause and to redefine what success could look like for us in that moment? Because it is a choice. And the awesome thing about that is that there's power in that you do not have to be held down by self-limiting beliefs that you've held on to for a long time, or these self-sabotaging thoughts. So that is my invitation to you. I will get into next week and probably the following week a couple of next steps, like how do we do this? How do we, get to, how do we choose what success looks like for us? But I just thought my story from yesterday was so pertinent to what we started talking about last week. So if you find yourself still struggling with defining what that success might look like for you, as personally, check out my bio. There is a free worksheet that you can download. It's called the Anti-Do-It-All Worksheet, and it will, when you print it out and you go through the exercise, I guarantee you'll find so much clarity in what, not only what success could look like for you, but also these areas that are asking to be nourished in your own life at this point. So check that out. We are getting ready to do day 2 of the 5-day challenge, the Find Your Harmony 2023 challenge. Today, 12 to 12:30 Eastern. The link to that to that sign-up page is in my bio, and you are still welcome to come and join us. If you missed yesterday, no worries. We can always send you the the replay link for that. So I would invite you to join me today at 12, and also to download that worksheet and see how things could look differently in your life. So have a great day. I'll see you here next week. And I wish for you the ability to choose or redefine success for yourself in the coming week.